Hey artist friends, in today's video we are going to paint this lovely loose floral painting in a little vase using the brand new and improved Meiliang Watercolour Set by Rubens. This has got 52 colors. It is new because there was another set, but they have changed and upgraded it in small ways to make it even better. So if you like to see what I think about this set and you want to watch me paint this video and learn how to do it, keep watching the video. Okay guys, so I have here with me the previous Meiliang watercolor set, which is a great set and I enjoyed using it. I've painted some fun tutorials here. I'll link them in the description below with this set that I've done. And they've sent me an updated set because I think they took quite a bit of feedback from the first set, and what they've done is they replaced 11 colors and also they rearranged the colors so that it made more sense in the palette. So as you can see, this one has like the green and blue up here, and then it goes the red. So I think what they've done is they put all the warm colors up there, followed by cool colors, and then followed by the earth tones. So I'm really excited to open this and try it out for you. And also this is on sale now, Black Friday sale and Cyber Monday. So from now till December 2nd, 2024, there's a 20% discount to this set. It's a very good deal, 52 colors for, it says student grade, but really I've tried this, the colors are vibrant, it's pretty much artist grade. So you're looking at $28.79 during the Black Friday sale. I've put all the links in the description below to the Amazon. Anyway, yeah, let's get right into it. So, okay, unboxing. First thing I notice is, cute. It's slightly different color. I'm really glad for this now. So I've got the blue one here and now this is purple. I really like it. Okay, and just like the previous one, it comes with this little swatch card and some paper, watercolor paper, which will be good for like little bookmarks. This is actually a swatching sheet. I don't know where I've put all of the for this palette. I'm not very good at keeping things, as you can see. And all the different little half pans. It comes with a liner, a pencil, and also a brush and a sponge. And as per the other one, this is also comes in a palette. So you can actually remove this plastic bit. What you're going to do is kind of like, yeah, there we go. And this becomes like a little palette. Rather, what am I talking about? Mixing wells like this one. All right, so I'm gonna just be removing every single little half pan and we'll get to some painting. So this bit here, I'm just fast forwarding because it will be quite boring for you to see me peel off every single cover to every single of the 52 colors. But it was fun doing it. Put on an audiobook and get going. Okay, I am done removing all of this paper from the pans, and what I want to share is actually how this beautiful metal holder is different from the previous Meiliang set. So the previous one, the actual half pan set in just a plasticky thing, which, you know, and the actual half pan was metal, which is decent, but this one is actually plastic half pans in a metal tin. So if you ever run out of a color, or you want to use this tin for something else, whatever, it's actually a really lovely palette for that fits half pans. All right, so let's fit them all in. Already I'm looking at some of the colors and I'm feeling quite excited, and just noticing how this makes a little bit more sense in terms of how they are positioned and placed on the palette. Warm colors, reds and blues, and then you get into your blues and greens, and eventually earth and metallic. All right, so let's place them back in. So one thing to note is that these are your standard half pans that you can buy from the art store, so it's easy to replace or add new colors if you like. Okay, so now I have the whole set here. actually, I realized that I want to tighten them. So with these metal palette, you can actually, the metal is soft enough for you to snap it in and like tighten them a little bit. All right, so here we go. Let's start swatching. I've got my little swatch sheet. I'll probably just fast forward this bit. And I love the little swatch sheet because there's a bit of speckle. Do you see it? It's a bit shiny. But anyway, let's go for it. All right, so I'm gonna just speed swatch it and do a little voice over here, and we'll talk a little bit more about each of the colors at the end. But I would just like to let you know that, you know, I was feeling very, very satisfied using these buttery, soft, vibrant, super easy to activate paints. Very pleasantly surprised with lots of the colors. And I just had a great time swatching. You know, swatching is one of those things which we don't think about very much, but the act alone is a wonderful warm-up and a wonderful way to just experience paint on paper. Okay, the swatch is done. I'd love to talk a little bit about what I feel. Firstly, I am in love with the yellows, okay? So lemon yellow, bright and beautiful. I love these two deeper ones. They're quite similar. It's gamboge and cadmium yellow medium. And then you have three oranges I find that are very similar. This one, and this one. So, you know, if it was up to me, I don't need so many oranges, probably just one orange. And then there's a nickel yellow here, which I love. It's kind of like gold, not metallic gold, but like just the color gold. So nickel yellow, I have a similar one in my normal palette called nickel gold. Beautiful. So when we go into the reds, I am loving this one, which is called orange red. And it's, I would say it's very like scarlet red. So it's very bright and beautiful. And I love the next one too, cadmium red. So these are like the more orangey reds that I would use. And then these three are your mid-tone reds that I find really similar. And again, I wouldn't have three different ones in my palette as usual, but you know, there's just a lot to go on here and you might have your own preference in the reds. And these are the cooler reds already, which I find this one to be the most pigmented. And it's actually quite dark, so I can't even read what I've... So the reason why I painted the paint over the words is that I wanted to see how transparent they are. So this one is called purple red, all right? So I've got the names here in this sheet. All right, the next one is Queen Rose, which is probably the pink that I will use most often. I would consider this like combination of permanent rose and opera rose. And then here we go into like, you know, 6 different purples, which I find a little bit over the top and unnecessary. But like I said, it's there for us with very, very tiny bit of changes. Your warmer purples and then your cooler purples. So this one would probably be like a dioxazine purple type. And this one is more like, you know, maroon. And then we have a magenta here, which is a pinky one. Cobalt blue, beautiful. Ultramarine blue, lovely. Manganese blue, also lovely. Sky blue, which is very good. It's like a cerulean blue. I would use it. Prussian blue, indigo, very, very useful and paints great. These 3 blues are just what I use all the time, so I'm so glad that they're in there. The only thing is that because they all look very dark and similar, and because there's so many of them, when I go and paint, I will just use my intuition to pick up the colors, and sometimes it might not be the exact one I want. So just to note, you know, like if you're the type of person that goes really quick and intuitively painting like I do, you might just pick the wrong color, but it's all there basically. All right, so here we have a gorgeous set of blue, turquoise, sea blue, light turquoise, turquoise, and light cobalt turquoise. I truly actually really love this one, and this two less. And if you look at the palette, they actually look very different. So these are the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sky blue, the 2 like more opaque one and then the transparent ones. So see where you go. All right, going into the greens, I really like the greens in this palette compared to the old one. I remember the old one had a lot of like really weird artificial greens that I had trouble sort of like using in my floral paintings. So we've got yellow green, which is like green gold, a light green, lime green. I don't have lime green in my box because in my painting, because I usually just mix up yellow to get this one, yellow and a sap green, but it's here if you want to, which is awesome. This is a permanent green, a more like, you know, primary green that I would avoid usually, but this will probably mix really well with dioxazine purple or a blue to get a more natural green. Emerald is also a little bit more artificial looking for florals. Hooker's green, which is dark, which is nice dark green. And then here we have olive green, stunning. I did put a lot on, so it looks quite black in the video, but it's really nice. Phthalo green blue, not a fan. And then this one here, Hooker's green. I consider this really quite like a nice sap green. So this is probably going to be my go-to green for sap green. And then finally, we get into all the earth tones here. Beautiful, lovely set of earth tones from yellow ochre to some reddish ones, burnt umber, sepia. We've got two blacks. I don't use black so much. And then a gold and a silver. So overall, when I was painting them, I just was I just love the consistency. It's just so buttery and nice. Like honestly, guys, for a beginner set and you want to experiment with all the colors, I really recommend this one. Let's not be, you know, too posh about using all the really classic brands. Let's just use what makes sense and what we can afford and what looks great, right? Okay, now I'm going to use this set and we're going to paint some flowers. Okay, I picked this beautiful little simple, I call this a rainbow bouquet because it's got all the colors, basically all the colors that go around the rainbow. I got it from a Pinterest. So if you're interested to look at the reference photo, it's a Patreon perk that I post for most of my tutorials. So otherwise, you're welcome to just follow along. And I'm going to be using this really cute little brush, size 5 round brush that came with the set. I'm using my 100% cotton Meiliang watercolor paper, 10 by 7 inches. And I always have a 10% discount for all Meiliang products. You can find a link in the description below. Okay, this is gonna be loose and fun as usual, you know, my style, loose, loosey-goosey. I'm gonna put the swatch sheet here just on the side so that I can check and see if anything is amiss. Let's start with the first flower I see in the middle, which is a ranunculus. So I'm grabbing some of this sap green and I'm going to use the well that is here. So because it's a new palette, a lot of beading will occur. Beading where all the paint just beads up to one lump here in the middle, which is fine. And it won't be like that forever, but just gotta bear with it and eventually it will start to... Okay, I'm just gonna create a nice little green center for my ranunculus, and I'm gonna go in with a peach. I'm gonna make up a peach, which is a bit of this orange and a bit of lemon yellow, and see what I get. And I think I need to add a bit of pink. Okay, so I've got some kind of a peachy tone. And for the first time using new paints, new supplies, it's always going to be a little bit awkward and different. So be forgiving if you're new to this. It's always obviously going to be awkward and different. Okay, I'm going to just drop in a bit of pink into the layers. First thing I'm noticing is I'm not used to these colors. You know, I'm not used to this pink or this beige or whatever. But I'm just gonna keep going and see where it takes me. Just let some of it bleed and let some of the layers touch, but also give some white space. So even the brush is not as thirsty as my other brushes, so I just feeling that I need to dip in water a little bit more. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to put in more of that peach. Dip in a little bit of pink into that. All right, and they say what, the first flower is always going to be the most overworked, right? Okay, let's stop there. All right, okay, I'm gonna just work on another flower up here, and this one is more of a scarlet. So I'm grabbing, what color is this? It's vermilion. So loosely putting some petals down. And this flower is kind of like a rose or another kind of ranunculus. So, and I'm gonna put a little, I'm gonna choose a olive green now. Okay, I found this green a little bit too artificial. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of green in the middle there and then just go in back to this one with some green. All right, I'm just gonna pull down a stem. And keep going. All right, I'm gonna paint some of these. I don't know, are they called cone flowers? They're blue. So grabbing the cobalt blue and just making these sort of really thin strokes using the tips of your brush. I found that a little bit, I just want to add a bit more ultramarine into this blue because I'm finding that blue a little bit not correct. Good. Just one or two here. Remembering that in loose florals, the whole idea is you are trying to be a floral arrangement person. Flower arranger, that's right. You're just a flower arranger and you can have the reference photo, but you don't have to follow exactly. Just use it to compose your picture. So I'm getting them lemon yellow, gamboge yellow, and creating that third flower up here in this little sort of trio. Okay. I like this brush with how I'm making the marks just down, down, down. And I'm dropping some yellow, some orange into the centers or the sides of this just to vary the colors. And then just one or two more of these lighter flowers. So I'm trying to like make it less opaque now. It's so pigmented. This paint is so pigmented that there is a tendency to over pigment the flowers. So I'm trying to water it down so that it stays still quite watery. It's a good problem to have if you ask me. Okay, some more green to just connect those stems down to the middle of this vase. Okay, there's some tiny little chamomile that are just gorgeous filler flowers, and I'm just dotting the center of these chamomile, as some people say. All right, and then I'm gonna go back into this peach, and I'm gonna paint a very light, fluffy carnation type flower here. Behind this yellow chamomiles, I just realized maybe the chamomile should just be a little bit further down here. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's loose. We want it loosey-goosey, okay? Let's get some bigger leaves going. So I've got some olive green. I'm gonna put some of the hooker's green. And there's some bigger leaves here and there. And I'm not used to using such a small brush, to be honest, for my leaves. So, but we should always challenge ourselves to do something that we're not used to. It's a very healthy way of growing our art practice. So I'm sticking to this one brush. Okay. All right, so just, oops. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, which is where most of you probably are watching this, let me know in the comments what you like to see me paint more of. Sometimes I just would like to know, do you want me to paint more like loose florals, or do you want me to paint flowers in a vase, patterns, you know? And also let me know in the comments how long you've been painting. It's so useful for me to know, like, are my videos reaching mostly beginners, people have been painting, you know, less than a year or more. And yeah, what more you need to see, want to see off. Okay, so for the vase, I'm gonna just use, what should I use? Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this indigo. I always default to a blue when I don't know what to do with a vase. So watering it down quite a lot. And I'm just going to pull out a very simple vase. Loose, loose. This is the base. Just remembering that we haven't yet done the petals of the chamomile. I am searching around my studio for this. There we go. Okay, so a very loose vase is now there, and put a bit more indigo into your brush, and then we might just look at where the shadows fall, and you could sort of just darken it, and it doesn't have to be super accurate, just suggestion of what you see there. I just love a loose floral. Okay, let's leave the vase for now, and I like the darkness of this indigo, and I'm gonna just put that in the middle of these coneflowers just to balance that whole intensity of that blue. And then now I'm just gonna go and put the white petals on these. So for that, I'm gonna use that blue again, super, super, super diluted, almost water, and going around the yellow center. So for white flowers, it's never white. It's always like a tinge of something. You could choose a tinge of the yellow, a tinge of pink, a tinge of blue, a tinge of gray, and everything will work out. Okay, so there we go. You see that? Chamomile, soft white chamomile. In every painting that you do, you want to make sure there is diversity in value. So some dark parts, some light parts, and also that's probably the number one thing you want to work on as a beginner or as an intermediate, really. The beginners, usually what beginners focus on are brush strokes. For some reason, and because we're doing florals, a lot of us focus on how we create beautiful brush strokes, which is very important. But eventually, as you deepen your practice, you realize that creating the difference in value scale is perhaps one of the most important thing that, you know, puts you apart from a beginner painter to an intermediate. Not that there are levels to climb, but you'll be able to see how practice and persistence and all that work actually makes a difference. So I'm making up a really dark green, so adding some sepia into this already green. So I noticed that it's my darkness here, but in the middle everything seems very mid-tone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just darken some of the leaves here and there while it's still wet. I mean, I could wait for it to be dry before doing this, but let's see. I'm very impatient sometimes, and I like to just get it in there for now. Okay, so I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Nice, wet, loose layer. I'm gonna wait for it to dry, and then we can come back to just make some very, very little small details. Okay, so you know what? I've decided that I just really love this painting so much, I'm not even going to put a second layer on. Sometimes you get the whole feel of it, you get the vibrancy, and you get the depth of value and the contrast right in the first layer that it doesn't actually need anymore. And this is what I feel has happened with this little painting using this wonderful Meiliang watercolor set. As I said at the beginning, if you'd like to purchase it now, there is a Black Friday sale, 20% off from now till 2nd December. Check out the link in the description below. It's a beautiful set to start with. I'm really quite surprised at how nice it's turned out. I really didn't expect to say that I don't want to do a second layer, but this is what it is. So I really hope to see your version. If you do, post it on Instagram, tag me at Crystal Tan Art. I'd love to see. And there you have it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to my mailing list below. I do give away a free ebook I call 9 Secrets to Lose Floral. And also I have a Patreon community, Patreon page if you want to support me on my channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!